Greetings, folks. Welcome to another one of our Free Friday community classes. This week, not so much a class. Folks have been asking me for more involved, more informative tours of my working space and especially my altars and shrines, right? We're all spiritual voyeurs. We want to know what other people are doing and how they're doing it because that's how we get inspired. So instead of trying to do a bunch of Instagram posts on it, I'm just going to do a video and we're going to do a walkthrough. And I'm starting with total vulnerability and transparency with the worst angle of my workroom behind us. So my workroom, as you may be able to tell, is an attic in our house. I've been relegated to the attic where I can cause all the trouble that I cause and not get in anybody's way. So we're in the attic, and this is really my desk. So if you've ever taken a class from me online, virtual, anything on Zoom, PowerPoint driven classes, most of my YouTube stuff, that's where I'm actually filming from. And you can see all of my lights, and my boom mic is there, and this milk crate right here is how I organize the books that I'm using to reference and cite for various classes. So I use the book crate system, or milk crate system. Book crate system works too. Milk crates are awesome to keep my life organized. Otherwise, what happens is I end up living in piles of books. And so in the floor below me, there's a room that is literally bookshelves, right? So up here tends to be just books that I'm currently referencing or ones that I reference often. And I'll show you this small bookshelf. And then I've got big ones downstairs. I might put some images of them here. And then my medicine crafting space is also downstairs next to the kitchen. So here I am in the attic with this not pretty view behind us, but now we're going to switch the camera around and I'm going to show you some of the cool stuff. So this is my main working altar, my main devotional altar, and I'm giving you kind of a pan back. Unfortunately, I'm on carpet up here, so I have to be very careful with some of the things that I do. And this is a bit of a pan back. And these two windows look over our main garden, so it's really nice view out there. And now we're gonna zoom in and I will give you a bit of a tour. So for folks that don't know, I do live in the city, and you are going to hear the city in this particular video. I'm not going into full audio lockdown to do this because I kind of just want it to be real, you know, how the space is and how it feels all the time. So this is my main devotional altar. It changes all the time and is dedicated to my patron deity, Viridios, also known as the Green Man, and I have various different statues and iterations of him, his 4 seasonal faces up top there with one in the middle, and this side tends to be more for the disgorging face, and center with black snake, and anyway, a few different things. So this is my primary devotional altar. I have a couple of my main working plant spirits here. This is a spirit vessel for juniper. I keep a lot of my amulets and sachets here to feed them and honor them when I'm not working with them, and of course offerings and candles and all of that. I am a student of the Om, so generally I will have some focal Om that I'm working with. Right now, as of the recording of this, I am working with Fern, not for any magical purpose, but just for kind of connecting a little more deeply to the meaning and the various nuances of that particular Om view. So this is my main devotional altar. Some of the stuff, I'm going to try to turn this delicately. Some of the stuff you can't see is my drum, and I made this drumstick from a piece of lightning struck oak in a house that I used to live in years ago, And I'm actually in the process right now of finally getting around to painting this drum. So you can see some sketch line work on there. And so eventually this will be painted up. But I do work with this drum pretty much every day in my workings. It's a really important part of my practice. And the only other stuff that's really down here besides candles and incense and everything is lots of notebooks, always kind of writing lots of stuff down, and a couple of reference books that I'm working with for Om. I'll show you the one that's on the top of the pile, because I know a lot of you are book nerds, but this is Aaron Rowan Lowry's Ogum Weaving Word Wisdom. Fantastic book. So that is my primary devotional shrine, and eventually I'm planning on doing a 52-week course, kind of a self-study course on working with Verdios the way that I do, looking at his cult the way that he's taught me and how I've been doing it. So if that's interesting and you think he's awesome like I do, stay tuned with that. So we're going to move now. I'm going to give you a bit of a different view. Try to get out of the camera. This is my sort of reference library. These are the books that I work with the most for classes and just referencing as I'm working with clients. And then up top is a plant spirit working altar, which I'll show you up close in a moment. And then this tree is actually part of my own practice. So we'll move over there now and I'll show you some other stuff. I'm going to try to keep as steady a hand as possible because I am freehanding this right now. But this is my plant spirit altar, and this is where I do work with individual plant spirits that I'm connecting to when we do our monthly plant spirit journeys, when I'm crafting medicine or remedies for clients, or doing different sorceress workings on behalf of people. So here in the middle, under the watchful gaze of Verdios always, is this tree, which I think was supposed to be like a jewelry hanger. It's kind of cool. This is always here, and it symbolizes the world tree, and it symbolizes sort of a gateway, a connecting point between me and whatever plant spirits I'm working with. Back here is my working tile. This is a sigil that I work heavily with, and I do have an advanced class on this on my Patreon. If you're interested, you'll see that symbol a lot. And right now, we're working with mugwort. So I have a mugwort dressed candle and some wild harvested mugwort here in the center that in the evenings when I sit and connect with this plant, as a bunch of folks in our Patreon community are doing right now, this candle sort of connects me to that spirit. And then what else? Some sachets that are working for a client right now. This is an oil that I'm working on that hopefully stays really clear because I'm going to be floating gold flakes in it once it's bottled. And so when that's done, you'll probably see stuff about that on social. This is some stuff for some incense blends that I'm doing, and then just a couple of little bits. This is a murti of Tulsi Devi, holy basil, that I always keep. She's a plant ally that I very much love. And then, as I mentioned, so many books, books that I'm referencing a lot. And this also is a mullein fetish that I made that's terracotta clay infused with mullein leaves. And so this stands in for the mullein spirit, and some fun stuff sent to me for my birthday this week from my friend Pip in Wells. Thanks, Pip. My working bowls, if you've read my books or anything, you know bowls are very important to me, and these are the two that I work with the most, and some books. And then I'm going to awkwardly stand back. And this is actually a coat hanger, a coat rack. But I work with this in my OM work. So when I'm drawing divination and doing spreads and pulls for people and myself, this is where I do that. And this kind of acts as a axis pillar to my various workings. So main, shrine, OM tree, plant spirit altar, this beautiful watercolor piece made by Alex Wonder, which is very heavy with this fancy frame. So I gotta hang it, I gotta figure out how to hang it properly. So it's just been living on the floor since she painted it of me. So that's nice. And then last but not least, I have one other desk here, which is kind of where I tend to craft a little bit more, or if I'm doing demos, that way I can put all the filming equipment behind me and then you can see me here. As you can see, the lighting gets a little tricky because it's backlit because of this window, but it is what it is. So this is like more of a crafting table. Right now I've got some sage incense cones curing that I'm going to be working with in an upcoming workshop here in Salt Lake, and some photos and pictures. That's a piece from Marcia Strange Dirt. That's Yes Mercurio on Instagram, very cool. Asa, Red-Tailed Witch, lots of people that I try to support buying art whenever I can. And then things get a little messy over here. I have my Botanica Occulta Neon that I still need to figure out how to hang up. Craft supplies, candles, felt, sewing material, pens, watercolors, all the things that I work with in my craft, right? And some stuff for photo props and all of that good stuff. So that is my space. And before we wrap up here, I'm going to take you downstairs and show you my medicine crafting area, and then we'll wrap it up. So this is where I package and make a lot of medicines. This particular little mudroom is right off the side of our kitchen, so it gives me easy access to the sink and all of that good stuff and storage, and it's a really tight space. We live in a very tiny little house, so we use every square foot as much as we can, but I did want to, show you guys a little bit. It's not always very tidy. Shipping stuff especially is always like a disaster, and just various stuff that I'm working on and finished products that I can mail out and all of that good stuff. So a little peek at my working room. So there you have it. Hopefully that's interesting to you. It's definitely something I haven't done before, so I appreciate the folks that asked for a tour. Apparently this is a thing people do online now, so now I've done it. If you have any questions about anything or anything I skipped over too fast, let me know. I'll explain or send you some close-up photos. With that, thanks very much. If you're interested in advanced classes and our guided plant spirit journeys and all the fun stuff we do, there's a link down in the video details where you can find all the good stuff accessible for everybody. See you guys next time.